What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to powder coat your e-bike at home. So I have the bike I'm going to paint right here. Your first step is to strip everything, get all the parts off to where it's literally just the frame. Okay, so it's been probably like 2.5 hours and I got everything off, and now we're going to go outside and clean the frame. Alright, so I just finished spray painting the frame, so now we're going to bring it into the garage and start sanding it. Alright, so I just got the first coat of sanding done. The first coat, or not necessarily the coat, but like the first time you do it, you don't want to do like a ton. You just want to kind of scratch the surface. And then once I come back, I'm going to try and get the whole frame looking like this, to where there's not little spots that are just like unsanded, because you really want that primer and that paint to stick to it, so this paint will last you a very long time and you don't have to do touch-ups all the time. So I just got done sanding. There's still some spots that I need to touch up on, but once you're done with this step, you're gonna want to take a cloth like this and just like start wiping it down and make sure there's no dirt or like leftover dust from sanding on it, so it doesn't affect the paint, which I've already done so. So the next step you're gonna want to do is like tape off parts that you don't want to get painted on. For example, like right here, I don't want my crank arm or whatever you call that thing to not be painted on, so I'm gonna tape over that. And then in the forks, I don't want that to be painted in because that's where the forks go. I don't want it to be greasy. I don't want any paint to get in there. So yeah. So for my forks, I couldn't do tape around it because it wouldn't stick without it touching the sides. So I just stuck a towel in between so it'll just hit the top, which isn't a big issue, but you really just don't want paint to get inside. Alright, so I've finished sanding everything and covering everything up. I'm going to start adding primer. I'm using black primer because my paint, it said your base coat should be with a black primer. So I'm going to use that, and then every coat I do of the whole bike, I'll wait 15 minutes, add another coat, and I think I'm going to do 2 coats and then see how it looks and see if it's like looking good. But if it's not, I'll do 3 coats and then switch to color. Alright, so first coat has been drying for about 15 minutes, and you can still see there's like the sanding showing, so we're gonna do another coat. Just got done with the second coat, and you can kind of start seeing that glitter and the primer, but I think we're gonna do another coat just to be safe, and I think we're gonna call it because it's looking really good with the second coat. And just to touch it up, we'll do a 3rd coat, and then we'll move on to the color, which I'm pretty excited to try out. Okay, so I just finished my 3 coats of primer, and you can really see that glitter, which I'm liking. This isn't gonna be my main color, but I'm hoping that kind of stays once I add the real color. So I'm gonna let this dry for about 2 hours, come out, see if it's like fully dry to touch and every little crevice, and if it is, I'm gonna start applying paint. But keep in mind, before those 2 hours, I will also come out here and just check on it. Look for some spots that I might need touching up on, where you can still see that like gray color from the sanding with the scratches. That's the part you want to look out for, and you want to do a little bit over it until it goes away, and then come back out after about 10 minutes for letting it dry, seeing if it's still there, and then adding another little coat. Keep in mind, guys, I did have one spot right there. You don't want to be too close, so I'll demonstrate a good form, I guess. You want to be like this far away and just kind of like tapping on it. You don't want to be full spraying, just absolutely loading it up. You just kind of want to just like do that, just like a light coat. You don't want it to be like crazy dense or anything. You just kind of want it to settle onto the frame and dry, and let it stick to your real paint. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in like 2 hours. Alright, so I haven't been recording while I'm painting, but basically what I wanted to say is, like, for my paint, I'm using this. I'm gonna do 3 coats to where the glitter just looks like really good. So yeah, Loki stopped recording because I kind of just forgot. I just want to start painting it, but the color's turning out really good. One thing I will say is, like, look out. So like here, I don't know if it'll tell on camera, but it looks more black than this. So that's what you want to look out for. That's the spots that you need to touch up on and make it look more like the glittery color rather than the black. So like right here, let me try and turn the bike around for a better view of it. Like, you can tell this needs some touch-ups. There's not as much glitter. So, we'll start touching up on that. Alright, guys, so I finished painting. It's the next day, and it looks very, very good. I'm very happy with how it turned out. You can add clear coat after your paint if you really want to. It gives it just, like, that nice, like, this kind of paint gave me not, like, a dusty kind of feel, but you can still feel the glitter on there, and I think eventually, after you kind of break it in, by just writing it, I think eventually the glitter will just kind of wear off, and then maybe if you wipe it down, it will. But I'm going to add some clear coat. I'm going to add a coat of it, see how it looks. I don't have it yet, and I'm not going to film it because it's an optional process. But if you want to, you can clear coat. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. Hopefully you can paint your frame just like I did and look as clean as mine. So yeah, make sure to subscribe. Next week's video will be a video at my ranch. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to do some fireworks. My uncle got a new Polaris, so we're going to test that out. I'm actually going to bring out the go-kart too. That's not seen on this channel before either. So yeah, next week's video is going to be really good. Stay tuned for it, and I'll see you all on the next one.